I'm building an octagonal box with 45-degree box joint corners. I've got my box joint jig here, and I put two 7¼ inch blades in here, and I worked out which gear of many, this one with 2 turns against the 12-turn gear, gives me just the right spacing for a joint that fits just the way I want it. Now I need to put the stock in my box joint jig at a 45-degree angle, and this way would work better with the jig because it's lower on this side, but the blade cuts really poorly cutting out of the grain like this. It's much better if the wood is in there like this. And to hold it in there, I made this jig here that fits on here, and I can put the stock against here. And to help me clamp short pieces, I sacrificed a little bit of width so I can put a clamp right here. Which way does this go? Oh, this way. And so far I haven't cut the pieces to their final length, because that way if I screw up one of these joints I could just shorten it and cut it again, and in fact with this piece I did that twice. Now cutting the pieces to final length, I can't afford to screw up anymore. Now I need to cut slots where I currently have fingers, but the piece has to be flipped around like so. So to line it up I need to flip it like this and make sure I cut a slot where I currently have fingers. So the blade is now lined up to cut a slot where the finger is. I glued together 2 halves, and now I just need to join those. This was pretty difficult to get together, and not without screw-ups. For instance, this part here slipped in the jig as I cut it, so I had to make another one. And here the pieces don't quite line up, so I'll have to fix that with a hand plane. So that box was actually the starting point for the deck for this wagon, which I'll cover in another video.